Hello again, everybody. This is David Clary along with Brett Kennedy, Scott McMahon, Philip Leander, Eric Dautel, and our engineer back in the studios of AM 1290 WATO, Nathan Forbes. We're just moments away from this basketball game between the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats and the Oliver Springs Bobcats. It's been 41 years since these teams got together in the regular season. Oak Ridge leads the series, but this is an outstanding Oliver Springs basketball team. They've rolled up impressive numbers offensively. They like to press. They shoot the three extremely well. The Wildcats are definitely going to have their hands full tonight. Regardless of the fact that they are a lower classification team, this is an outstanding Oliver Springs basketball team.
Like you said, David, Oliver Springs is a great basketball team. Coach Bowers has done a great job in the time he's been there. And like I said, they press well, they run well, they shoot the ball well, they play defense well. This team does a lot of things well, and they've got a lot of depth too. We did a game just the other night with there, and we saw how impressive and how quick they can score. I think they scored like 13 or 15 points in a row in the second half. I mean, just like that in about a minute's time. But just a great ball team. It's going to be an interesting game tonight, David.
You can probably tell by the background noise that Oliver Springs seems to have brought every single Oliver Springs citizen to Bearden High School, because this place is packed. There are some Oak Ridge fans here, but there are a lot of Oliver Springs fans here at Bearden.
Like you said, Dave, it's been 41 years since the Oak Ridge Wildcats and the Oliver Springs Bobcats have met in the regular season. This is a big ball game for Oliver Springs. Like I said, a lower classification playing a 3A ball team, and it's going to be a big win for Oliver Springs so they can win tonight. A lot of people here to support them.
Coach Stan Ballard, the head coach at Oliver Springs, specifically requested this matchup. He told Coach Blevins, who is the tournament director here, that he wanted to play Oak Ridge in the first round, and here it is.
Well, Dave, this is a great matchup between Oak Ridge and the Bobcats. Like I said, a lower classification, but a very good team. And Coach Cairns, the head coach of Oak Ridge, and Coach Ballard, the head coach of Oliver Springs, who used to be an assistant coach at Oak Ridge. This is not only a matchup of two great teams, but two coaches that used to coach with each other.
Oliver Springs wearing their predominantly purple jerseys. They have purple jerseys, purple pants, purple socks, gold numerals. What do you think? We talked about this a couple weeks ago, Brett. Those purple socks, they're about as loud as you could possibly get.
Well, you know, like you said, purple socks pulled up to their knees, maybe a loud thing, but you know, it's a team thing, and there might be something to it more than just trying to show, be a little bit loud or whatever. But like you said, all purple is kind of loud itself, but kind of interesting the way they wear their socks.
The starting lineup's being introduced for the Wildcats. Halston Lane, Greg Woofter, Greg Adams, Kenny Herring, and Kevin McMahon. And we're about to get set here from the Bearden High School gym. Hardly a seat to be found here as the purple and gold of Oliver Springs stroll out to center court. The Wildcats in their predominantly white jerseys with cardinal trim and cardinal numerals. We're about to get set from Bearden High School. Halston Lane will step to the circle to jump for Oak Ridge. For the Oliver Springs Bobcats, Craig Price, 6'5", junior, as the Oliver Springs fans across the way beginning to make a little noise. And this basketball game from the Super 16 tournament at Bearden is just moments away. Wildcats finding their positions out on the floor. Price against Lane, and the basketball game is about set. The official steps in. Ball up, tip control by the Oliver Springs Bobcats. For the basketball will come Mark Wedby, and we're underway. Here comes to Travis Williams. He pulls up, takes a 10-footer. It's good. Quickly, Oliver Springs takes a 2-0 lead, and the Wildcats will face full court pressure, and then the ball is knocked out of bounds by Oliver Springs. You can see there on that first play a little bit of panic in the face of Halston Lane as he tried to get the ball in.
Like you said, David, Oliver Springs does a great job of pressing full court and using that press to their advantage. And like you said, a little bit of pressure maybe you saw there, and a little hesitant throwing the ball in, but Oak Ridge's guards have got to get open.
Wildcats work the ball into Kevin McMahon, still in the rear court, dribbles out of trouble, loops it across the way to Kenny Herring. Here come the Wildcats down the floor to Woofter. Woofter sets it out to McMahon, had a three, drives to the free throw line, backs up, about to be trapped. He gives it inside to Halston. Halston swings over to Adams, a wide open three, it's on its way, good. 3-point shot for Greg Adams, and the Wildcats take the lead. 3-2 our score, 7:35 to play in the first quarter. Oliver Springs basketball. With it on the left side, we'll go to Craig Price, dribbles to the right side, kicks it over to the right corner to Travis Williams, unable to shoot. On the right wing, double team goes inside to number 33. That'll be Chris White. His shot is no good. On the rebound, Halston Lane, and then a whistle blows and a foul is going to be called. Personal foul will go against Mark Wedby. Oak Ridge on top, 3-2, 7:08 to play.
Like we said, Dave, you know, Oliver Springs presses the ball well. They're going to break the press, but also going to play good defense. It's still here by Oliver Springs.
They'll work the ball in after a steal. Halston blocks it. taken away by Greg Woofter. Woofter in the rear court gives it off to Adams. Here come the Wildcats down the floor. Adams pulls up, looks inside to a cutting lane. He might have walked, goes in for the shot. It's stripped to the ball, taken away by Oliver Springs. With the basketball quickly will come Jonathan Green. He kicks it over the left side of Williams. Layup, blows it. On the rebound, Oak Ridge. Kenny Herring with the basketball. Back the other way it comes. 3-on-1 break. Pulls up, takes a 5-footer. Good. Kenny Herring scores, and the Wildcats lead up by a score of 5-2. 6:36 to play here in the first quarter, and the Oliver Springs Bobcats bring the ball down the floor. Travis Williams is 6'2" player for Coach Ballard. He's a junior. Off on the left side it goes to Jonathan Green. Green with it off to the right side to Price. Whistle blows, and a foul is going to be called against Oak Ridge.
You know, I'm sure Coach Carringer and Coach Norris down there are telling Oak Ridge, you know, the one thing they've got to do is they've got to get the ball out quick, you know, on a made basket, even on a missed basket. They got to outlet quick and get down the court because Oliver Springs is going to trap on a miss and a make.
For the basketball will come the Oliver Springs Bobcats. The Wildcats playing a man-to-man. Williams works the ball to the right side. Over it goes to Jonathan Green. Green harassed everywhere he goes by Kevin McMahon. He's a good three-point shooter now. He'll penetrate, pull up, fire it inside. Then the ball is knocked out of bounds by Oliver Springs. So the Wildcats get it on the Oliver Springs turnover. Halston Lane will work the ball in. Once again, Oak Ridge facing full court pressure, and it comes to Kenny Herring. Herring with it across to Woofter. Woofter goes inside to Adams, goes inside, intending his pass for Woofter. Probably should have shot the ball, tried to take one extra pass inside to Woofter, and the Wildcats turned the ball over.
Well, Greg Adams there was over for about a 7 or 5 foot jumper from inside the paint, and probably should have took the shot, but being an unselfish player he is, wanted to pass off.
5-2 Oak Ridge. They have the basketball in the paint. Here's a shot blocked by Woofter. Taken away by Halston Lane. The Wildcats with the outlet down the floor. It goes to Kevin McMahon. McMahon brings the ball across the line, stops with a pass to Lane. Halston drives in, pulls up, goes inside Adams for a layup. One dribble, one shot. Here it is, high off the glass, no good. Battles for his own rebound, and it's knocked out of bounds by the purple and gold from Oliver Springs. 5:33 to play. First quarter, 5-2. The Wildcats lead. And let's see who will work the ball in. It'll be the Wildcats to do the honors. It'll be Kevin McMahon to work the ball in. Kevin works it up high to Greg Adams. Adams comes cross court. McMahon has a three, penetrates in, gets a screen, goes in for a 5-footer, up and good. Kevin McMahon scores his first two, and the Wildcats lead by 5. 7-2 the score, 5:32 to play here in the first quarter. From the Super 16 tournament here at Bearden High School, Travis Williams pulls up, takes a shot. It's short. On the rebound, Greg Woofter. Woofter is then tied up by number 33, Chris White. The alternating possession arrow facing the Wildcats, and Oak Ridge will turn the ball, work the ball in. 5:11 to play in the first quarter, 7-2. Oak Ridge's Halston Lane works it into Adams. Adams to Harry. The Wildcats break the press easily to Woofter. Woofter drives in, wisely turned. Now he spins and shoots. I thought he was going to wisely back it up, but he took the shot anyway, and down the floor will come Oliver Springs. They trail by 5, 7-2. Price with the basketball, sits it out here on the left side of Green. Back along the left side of Travis Williams. Williams back on the left side to Jonathan Green. Comes cross court and throws the ball away. I think Oliver Springs just a little bit too pumped for the ball game right now, because maybe a little nervous playing in front of this big crowd here as they turn the ball over again. Halston works it into Kenny Herring, and it's knocked out of bounds once again by Jonathan Green. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. 4:47 to play. Here comes Kevin McMahon down the floor for the Wildcats, breaking the press all the way through. Stops, needs some help, comes cross court to Woofter, pulls up, takes a 5-footer, good. Woofter knocks it down, and the Wildcats lead 9-2. 4:35 to play in the first quarter.
Good job there by Kevin McMahon. He saw the trap coming and did a good job passing the ball. If the three-pointer is going to be taken by Webby, it's going to be good.
Hit that shot from the outside, then the ball is knocked out of bounds. The Wildcats lead by 4, 9-5. Wedby is a guy who doesn't really shoot the ball all that much, but he's an effective player, and he's going to come out of the contest. Oliver Springs substitutes a lot because of their style. They trap and press all the time as the Wildcats easily break their press. Here comes Greg Adams inside Woofter, layup. Good. Easily breaking their press.
Good job by Oak Ridge. One thing they're doing well is they're passing the ball up court and not dribbling a lot. They're not panicking. They're just making good, crisp passes, and that's how they're going to beat the press this game. You know, Oliver Springs is going to trap a lot. There's a turnover there made by Oliver Springs, number 44. Like I said, they're going to trap a lot of times. They're going to have to pass the ball, not dribble, not panic, and they've done a good job of not doing that so far.
11-5 Oak Ridge on top. The Wildcats, after a turnover by Oliver Springs, will have the basketball in front of the Oak Ridge bench. Chuck Carringer is the head coach of the Wildcats, assisted by Ricky Norris. As Oak Ridge works it in, and it comes to Adrian Hall. The freshman brings the ball down the floor with a long pass to Kevin McMahon. Makes a nice save, goes inside and throws the ball to Eric Dautel, our cameraman, down on the floor. It'll be Oliver Springs basketball. With it across the way will come Travis Williams, calls the plays, he brings it across the line. Wildcats on top here, 11-5. Bounce pass out to the top, goes to number 32, Brian Stewart in the ball game. Green with it. Actually, that is Chris White with the basketball outside the line. He kicks it back out. Unable to take the three-point shot is Green. Back on the right side it goes to Price. He fires a pass off the fingertips once again of Chris White out of bounds. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball.
Good drive there by number 44 for Oliver Springs, Craig Price. Probably should have pulled up and took the jumper inside the paint, but trying to dish it off to Travis Williams and just I don't think he was ready for the pass, and just probably should have took the shot right there.
One good thing that the Wildcats have done is Oak Ridge works it into Adrian Hall. Adrian brings it across to Woofter. Woofter backs it up with a pass to a cutting Halston Lane. Layup good. Halston Lane scores, slicing right through the defense set by Oliver Springs. The Wildcats lead 13-5. 3:24 and counting here in the first quarter. And down the floor once again will come the Bobcats. Outside the three-point stripe, the Wildcats, pretty good defensive team, playing well against this style of basketball set by the Oliver Springs Bobcats. Out it goes to Dwayne Massengale. We saw him hit about 3 or 4 threes the other night down in Oliver Springs in their game against Loudon as they take a shot good. 13-7, the Wildcats with the basketball, then the ball's knocked out. They press on every attempt. The Wildcats have really had a lot of success getting the ball down the floor. Once they get the ball inside, inbounds, they've been able to move down the floor quite rapidly.
Like you said, Oak Ridge has just done a great job of breaking the press so far, make passes up court, and, a good job by Halston Lane and some of the other Oak Ridge players to run down court and get those wide open layups.
Here's another easy shot, good. Kevin McMahon scores. The Wildcats get an easy jumper. That's 4 for Kevin, and the Wildcats lead 15-7, 2:46 to play. Good three-point shooting team, this Oliver Springs basketball team. They have it. Number 32, Brian Stewart, standing to the right extension of the free throw line outside the arc. Penetrates with Kevin McMahon defensively. Sets it out on the left side to Craig Price. Price drives to the baseline. Might have been held by Halston Lane, and that'll be a personal foul called against Oak Ridge. 2:30 to play, first quarter, 15-7 our score. Oak Ridge on top of the Oliver Springs Bobcats, and it'll be Oliver Springs to work the ball in. To do the honors for them will be Travis Williams, 6'2", junior, and he tries to work the ball in, and he does. They set it outside to number 33. That'll be Chris White. Chris White kicks it back out for a three-pointer. It's off target, no good. Long rebound tracked down by Oliver Springs once again. Travis Williams swings it around for another three. This one's on target, but it rims out. On the rebound, a foul's going to be called against Oak Ridge. Personal foul's going to go against the Wildcats. Adrian Hill, who came over the back to pull down that board. It's not a shooting violation. It'll be Oliver Springs basketball. 2:14 to play, first quarter. They'll work the ball in. Williams works it in, then it comes to Brian Stewart. In the corner, he's trapped. Works the ball here right in front of the Oak Ridge bench to Massengale. Nearly stripped of the ball. Grabbed right back. Dwayne Massengale sets it out for a three. That's a brick. No good. On the rebound, Adrian Hall. The Hill, that is. He lost it. Taken up and good by Whitby, I do believe. And down the floor will come Oak Ridge against the pressure. Leading 15-9. The Wildcats throw the ball away. Oliver Springs with it. The Wildcats turning the ball over, playing with Halston Lane, Adrian Hill, Adrian Hall, Kevin McMahon, and Greg Adams. Good defensive series up until this point. The Wildcats haven't really thrown the ball away that many times. As they work the ball in for a shot, it's blocked. Taken away by Halston Lane. Lane on the alley. Here comes the dunk. Greg Adams just lays it in good. I thought he might give it off to Hill to jam it home, but he just took it to Adams and he laid it off the glass. And for Greg, that's his 5th point. And Oak Ridge leads 17-9 with 1:21 to play here in the first quarter. Oliver Springs down the floor. With it will come Massengale. Massengale brings the ball to the midcourt circle. The Wildcats working hard defensively. 1:11 to play in the first quarter. Oliver Springs, good three-point shooting team as they get it into Travis Williams. His shot is off the rim, no good. Adrian Hall, the rebound, and he's fouled. One good sign here, Brett, is that Travis Williams is not as on as we saw in that night down in Oliver Springs just a week or so ago.
Well, Travis Williams last week against Loudon struggled a little bit in the first half, but the second half he really came on, and I think he scored like 8 straight points at the start of the second half, and he's hit a few shots here and there, but he's really something Oak Ridge has got the key on because he's got a great shot, just a great offensive and defensive player all around.
The Wildcats still against the press. Here comes Adrian Hall down the floor, stops, gives it over to Kenny Herring. Kenny Herring throws it inside of Wolfter for the layup. Good. The Wildcats easily breaking the press again. It's almost like a hot knife through butter once they get the ball in bounds. And Oak Ridge leads 19-9. High percentage shots the Wildcats are getting as Oliver Springs turns the ball over. The Wildcats getting high percentage shots against the Oliver Springs Bobcats. They gamble so much that you're going to get that occasionally.
Like you said, the way they run their defense, the trapping defense, and the four-court press, you're going to give up some layups, and that's one thing they do. As the shot's up and good by Greg Adams. But like we said, it's kind of a gambling defense. Sometimes you give up those wide-open layups, but in the long run, you hope it pays off and you get more turnovers than you do wide-open layups.
21-9 after another shot made good by Oak Ridge. 26 seconds to play. They have the basketball with Jonathan Green. Green works it off to the left side to Lance Jones. His shot is no good. On the rebound, Greg Adams battles, grabs it on the baseline, kicks it over the left side to Kenny Herring, knocked out by Oliver Springs. 15-7 the score. Coach Ballard says when his team is shooting the ball, they're hard to beat. They've only scored 9 points, so they have scored 41 points in a quarter this season as Oak Ridge works it off to Hall. Adrian Hall down the floor to Wolfter. Wolfter looks inside to Halston. Halston back to Wolfter. Layup, no good. Taken away by Oliver Springs. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Down the baseline. Charge should be called. No, it's going to be a block. He didn't quite have the position directly to get the charge call. It's going to be a block called against the Wildcats, Adrian Hall. That'll be his first personal foul. Oak Ridge on top, 21-9 here in the first quarter. 2.4 seconds to play. It'll be a 2-shot foul. And at the free throw line will go Craig Price. 6'5" junior. Shoots, missed it. We'll have another one though. The Wildcats leading 21-9. 2.4 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Price back to the free throw line, has yet to score according to Mr. Scott McMahon. Shot is on its way, missed them both. On the rebound, Oak Ridge, as the first quarter comes to a close. So our score after 1 quarter of basketball here at the Super 16 tournament, the Wildcats of Oak Ridge 21 and the Oliver Springs Bobcats 9. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
You tired? Actually, you sound pretty good.
Pretty good.
Back here at the Bearden High School gym, Oak Ridge leads by a score of 21-9. The second quarter just about to start. Number 24, Travis Williams, will bring the ball across the timeline for Oliver Springs. So go right side, look in the corner, go inside to work Webby. Webby loses the ball momentarily, stolen away by Kenneth Herring. Herring will come to the right side to Adrian Hall, who'll go down court to Wolfter. Wolfter goes the shots up, no good, blocked by number 44 of Oliver Springs, Craig Price, and then the ball will go out of bounds. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball. Like I said, Oak Ridge on top, 21-9. A great first quarter for the Oak Ridge Wildcats, but this Oliver Springs basketball is a good basketball team. They're going to keep playing because they can score in a hurry. Ball come in to Halston Lane. Halston Lane will take the jumper. It's on its way. No good. Rebounded by Craig Price of Oliver Springs. He'll take it himself across the timeline. Pull up, come to Webby. Webby for 3. It's on its way. No good. Off the front of the rim. Rebounded by number 14, Adrian Hall. For Oak Ridge, he'll come down the floor to Halston Lane. The jumper, it's on its way up. No good. Rebounded by number 25, Jonathan Green of Oliver Springs. Oliver Springs, Jonathan Green across the timeline. He'll come up top to Webby. Webby left side to Craig Price. Price looks inside, won't throw it in. Now he'll come to Travis Williams on the baseline. He'll turn, he'll spin, he'll shoot, he'll score. Good shot there by Travis Williams as Kenneth Herring lost him momentarily. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball. Adrian Hall down court to Greg Adams. Adams, he'll pull up on the baseline, come down to Halston Lane in the middle. Just take the shot, it's on its way. Blocked by Craig Price, and then given to Williams. Williams back to Price. Wide open layup, it's on its way. It's good, and he's fouled by Oak Ridge's number 3, Kenneth Herring. Herring tried to step underneath Craig Price and just couldn't get the position, got there a little late. And Craig Price got the bucket and the foul. Like I said, David, Oak Ridge, a great first quarter, but Oliver Springs can score in a hurry. 21-13 our score. Price will go to the line for 1 shot to try to commit this 3-point play. We're here at Bearden High School gym, a neutral setting for both teams. That the shot's on its way and good, but the crowd advantage has to go to Oliver Springs. The shot's up, and it's good by Chris Watt of Oliver Springs, and they trail by 6. McMahon controls the ball for Oak Ridge. He'll come down to Kenneth Herring. Herring right side, outside the 3-point line. He'll drive baseline. He'll go for the shot. It's up, and he's going to be fouled. Fouled by number 32 of Oliver Springs. That's going to be Brian Stewart. So Kenneth Herring will go to the line for 2 shots. Herring has, let's see here, 2 points in the ball game. Has yet to attempt a free throw tonight. He'll try to give his team a 7-point lead.
Hey, Brad, the Wildcats in the first quarter were taking much higher percentage shots, and when they didn't have the shot, they were taking better percentage shots. The last 4 trips down the floor, the Wildcats have taken what I really seem to believe are not the best, most advised shots. Kenny was lucky he got fouled on that particular shot. Although he missed the first shot, the second toss is up good.
I agree with you, Dave. Like I said, Oak Ridge taking a lot better shots here in the first quarter than they are here in the second quarter. But a little bit shaken because Oliver Springs come out to a good start here in the second quarter. 22-15 our score. Oak Ridge on top. Craig Price in the backcourt for Oliver Springs. He'll come up and has the ball stolen away momentarily by number 30 of Oak Ridge. That's Ross Nesbitt. And it'll be Oliver Springs basketball. Craig Price inbounds to Travis Williams. Williams guarded up top by Kenneth Herring. Oak Ridge in a man-to-man. Williams, he'll dribble right side. Looks inside to number 25, Jonathan Green. He'll take the shot up, and it's up. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Greg Woofter. Woofter, he'll outlet to Herring. Herring will go back inside to Woofter. Woofter, one pump fake, one up with a shot. It's up, no good. But he's going to be fouled in the act of shooting, so Woofter will go to the line for 2 shots. Woofter, let's see, on the season is a, let's see here, a 50% free throw shooter, making 1 of 2 shots. Hopefully he can make both here and try to give Oak Ridge, let's see, a 9-point lead. First shot's on its way, it's up, and it's good. Chattanooga Phoenix a winner here in the first ball game of this tournament over Farragut today by a score of 49-46 as Woofter has 5 points in the ball game. Second toss is up, and it's no good. Controlled by Jonathan Green of Oliver Springs. He'll take it himself across the timeline, guarded up top by Ross Nesbitt. He'll come up top to Craig Price. Price takes a fake, dribbles left side to Brian Stewart. Stewart for 3 in the corner. It's good. 23-18, Oak Ridge on top. As Kenneth Herring will come middle to McMahon. McMahon 1-on-2 with Woofter. He'll take the shot. It's up, and it's no good. Rebounded by Woofter. He'll take the shot back up. Will fake the shot up. No good. Rebounded by Jordan. Jordan Clark back up the shot, and it's good. Good job, Oak Ridge on the boards there to get the rebound, take the ball up and score. Oliver Springs right back in Oak Ridge's faces. Craig Price up top. He'll go right side to Jonathan Green. Jonathan Green comes left side to Stewart. Stewart in the corner to Craig Price. Price guarded by Greg Woofter. Price tries to drive baseline, cut off by Woofter. He'll come back up top to Jonathan Green. Jonathan Green to Brian Stewart, guarded up top by Kenneth Herring. Craig Price, he'll take 1 dribble. He'll stop, back up top to Brian Stewart. Oak Ridge in a man-to-man defense as Chris White tries to go inside, but stolen away by Oak Ridge's Kenneth Herring. Kenneth Herring, he'll go left side of McMahon. McMahon takes a shot up, and he's going to be fouled by number 25, Jonathan Green of Oliver Springs. So McMahon will go to the line for 2 shots. Oak Ridge getting a lot of free throw opportunities here in the second quarter as McMahon is 69.6% free throw shooter on the year. McMahon has 4 points in the ball game. No attempts from the line so far tonight. We'll have 2 shots here. Oak Ridge leads Oliver Springs by 7, 25-18, 5:03 left here in this first half. McMahon eyes the first toss, it's up, and it's good. Oak Ridge Lady Wildcats a winner today over Tennessee High by a score of 70-46, and they'll play tomorrow night at 7:30 against the winner of the Greenville Villa Angela game of Ohio at, like I said, once again at 7:30. McMahon's second toss is up, off the back rim, no good. Rebound by Halston Lane, takes it back up, and good. Good job there by Halston Lane to get the rebound. Just kind of jumped over the Oliver Springs players. Oliver Springs right back against Oak Ridge as Chris White will take the easy layup. Oliver Springs is really fast. They get the ball out quick and press and attack the press and everything. They just do a good job. Halston Lane back for Oak Ridge. He'll dribble inside. He'll pass to Jordan Clark. Good pass to Jordan Clark. He hits the wide open layup, and he gives Oak Ridge a 10-point lead, 30-20. Travis Williams, he'll call the play up top for Oliver Springs, guarded up top by Kenneth Herring. Oak Ridge in a man-to-man defense, goes right side to Jonathan Green. Jonathan Green looks inside. It's going to be stolen away by Kevin McMahon, and then he'll push it to Kenneth Herring. Herring pushes across the timeline, 4-on-2. He goes inside to Jordan Clark. Jordan Clark falls away. The shot's up, no good. Jordan Clark fell away a little bit there instead of taking it up strong and kind of short-armed and missed the shot, and it's controlled by Oliver Springs. Travis Williams down court for Oliver Springs, takes a shot up, no good. It's going to be rebounded by Halston Lane. He'll pass the ball to Kenneth Herring. Herring back to Halston in the backcourt. He gets across the timeline and then stripped of the ball, but a personal foul is going to be called against number 33, Chris White of Oliver Springs. I believe a timeout's going to be asked for by, let's see here, one of the teams. I believe it's going to be against Oliver Springs. We'll take a timeout ourselves. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Just tell him to bring it back. He'll take it. He'll bring it back right there.
Back here at the Bearden High School gym, Oak Ridge on top by a score of 30-20 as McMahon in for Oak Ridge. Ball's almost knocked out of bounds and then saved by Oak Ridge's number 40, Greg Woofter, right into the arms of number 42, Mark Wibby of Oliver Springs. Craig Price will take the three-pointer for Oliver Springs. It's on its way, it's up, no good. Rebounded by number, 24 of Oliver Springs, and then he's going to lose control. It's going to go roll out of bounds. It's going to be Oak Ridge's basketball. Once again, Oak Ridge on top, 30-20, 3:39 left here in this first half of play. Halston inbounds to Kevin McMahon. McMahon goes right side to Adrian Hall. Hall will go down court to Halston Lane. Halston Lane, he'll drive. He'll take this jumper off the glass. Good shot by Halston Lane. He makes it. Halston Lane now has 5 points in the ball game, and Oak Ridge leads by 6 points in the ball game. Travis Williams across the timeline for Oliver Springs. He'll go right side to Jonathan Green. Jonathan Green back up top to Mark Webby. Webby in the corner to Travis Williams. He'll take the fake. Then he'll come cross court to Craig Price. Price guarded up top by Halston Lane. He'll go baseline, left baseline to Travis Williams. Williams guarded up top by 54. That's Greg Adams of Oak Ridge. He'll bounce pass into Craig Price. He'll turn, he'll spin, he'll shoot. No good off the front of the rim and controlled by Oak Ridge's number 50, Halston Lane. Atlas to Adrian Hall. 2-3-on-1. The shot's up and no good off the back of the rim. Good shot there by Adrian Hall. Found himself wide open, took a good jumper, but just couldn't get the shot to fall. Adrian Hall, number 14, a freshman. And a personal foul, I believe, is going to be called against, let's see, I believe on number 50, I believe, for, no, it's going to be a number 4. That's Kevin McMahon for Oak Ridge, and it's going to be away from the ball, so it's going to be Oliver Springs basketball underneath their own goal. I guess a little shoving and elbowing going on underneath between Kevin McMahon and an Oliver Springs player, and he's going to be called for the foul. Sometimes those kind of shoving and elbow matches go to the first player that the official sees, but it's going to be Oliver Springs basketball. Massengill up top for Oliver Springs. Oak Ridge in the 2-3 zone. Left side to Williams. Williams, he'll bring it up top. He'll go left side to Stewart. Stewart for 3. It's on its way short. Rebounded by Adams. He'll out to Adrian Hall. Hall down court to a wide open Adrian. He'll take the shot up. It's on its up. The glass is up, and it's good, and he's fouled. Good pass down court by the freshman Adrian Hall to Adrian Hill. And Adrian Hill hits the shot. And we'll go to the line for one shot to try and complete this three-point play. Like I said, one end of the court from Adrian to the other court to Adrian. Adrian Hill, a 50% free throw shooter on the year, has one shot. Oak Ridge leads by 14. The shot's on its way. It's up. No good. Rebounded by Chris White of Oliver Springs. Travis Williams bring the ball across the timeline for Oliver Springs. He'll go right corner to Brian Stewart. Stewart back up top to Webby. Webby guarded closely by Greg Woofter. He'll come up top to Chris White. White in the corner to Brian Stewart. Stewart, he'll look up top to Williams. Williams will fire a three-pointer. It's on its way. It's up. No good. Rims out. McMahon on the rebound. Then he'll be trapped in the backcourt. He'll come right side. Let's see, to Adrian Hill, now back down to Woofter. Woofter, he'll pull up, back out top to McMahon. Good smart play by Woofter as he found himself guarded down low on the baseline. He'll go inside to Hill. Hill with a three-pointer, it's up, and it's good. Good job there by Adrian Hill. Not a three-pointer, a two-pointer, a foot on the line. It'll be Oak Ridge on top, 36-20 here with 1:42 left in this first half of play. Oliver Springs is number 20, Dwayne Massengill. Left side, I believe a personal foul is going to be called away from the ball. It's going to go against number 14. That's Adrian Hall of Oak Ridge. And for Adrian Hall, that'll be his first personal foul of the ball game. As Oliver Springs substitutes two new players into the ball game. It'll be Jonathan Green and Craig Price. Dwayne Massengill and Brian Stewart will check out the contest, as will Greg Woofter of Oak Ridge, as Halston Lane replaces him. Oak Ridge on top by 16, 36-20 with 1:38 left here in the second quarter. Travis Williams' first shot's up, and it's good. Travis Williams, a great ball player for the Oliver Springs Bobcat, has 7 points in the ball game, and we'll have one more toss from the line. Williams will have a second toss. It's on its way. It's up, and it's good. 36-22 our score. Oak Ridge up by 14. As Ross Nesbitt will run the point guard for Oak Ridge. He'll go left side to Herring. Herring in the corner to Hill. Hill, nice little pass to Halston as he spins. He shoots up. No good. Found himself just wide open, but just couldn't get that ball in. Probably should have used the glass, but missed the shot. Price back down the court for Oliver Springs. He'll come up top to Travis Williams. Williams in the corner, back to Price, guarded by Halston Lane. And then a personal foul is going to be called, I believe, against number 4 again. That's going to be Kevin McMahon. And let's see, that's 2 personal fouls away from the ball, and I guess Kevin Mann's just getting in a rubber match a little bit with number 33, Chris White, and he's going to be called for the personal foul. So Chris White will go to the line for 1-and-1. Chris White's first shot's on its way. It's up, and it's no good. Rebounded by Halston Lane. He'll come outlet to McMahon. McMahon right side of Ross Nesbitt. Nesbitt down court to Kenneth Herron. Herron, he'll drive, and he'll pass to Adrian Hill, and then back up top to McMahon. McMahon thinks about the 3, won't take it. Comes across to Nesbitt. Nesbitt in the corner to Herron. Herron for 3. It's on its way. No good. Rebounded by Jonathan Green of Oliver Springs. Under a minute left here this first half of play. Green up top to Webby. Webby will go, let's see, left side of Travis Williams. Travis Williams inside of Price. Price turns, he spins, he shoots. It's up, no good. A rebound's going to be taken, let's see, by Adrian Hill, then knocked away by Craig Price, and a personal foul is going to be called against number 44, Craig Price of Oliver Springs. So Oak Ridge will go to the line for a 1-on-1 situation. Adrian Hill will go to the line for a 1-on-1. Adrian Hill, let's see, has 4 points in the ball game. I said earlier, 50% free throw shooter on the year. He's 0-1 from the line of 9. He'll go to the line for a 1-on-1 situation. A new rule this year in high school basketball, you cannot enter the lane on a free throw attempt until the ball has hit the rim. Adrian Hill has his first shot. It's on its way. It's up. No good. Off the back of the rim, and in control by Oliver Springs is number 33, Chris White. He'll outlet to Travis Williams. Williams across the timeline for Oliver Springs. Guarded up top by Kenneth Herron. Williams looks inside, goes inside of Chris White. He'll turn and drive, and it's going to be fouled by Greg Adams of Oak Ridge. So for Greg Adams, that'll be his, let's see, second personal foul of the ball game. And Chris White will go back to the line for 1-on-1. A lot of fouls being committed here in this last couple minutes of play in this first half, and a lot of free throw attempts. Let's see, Chris White will go to the line for 1-on-1. The first shot's on its way. It's up, and it's good. Oliver Springs now trails by 13, 36-23. 34 seconds left here in this first half of play. White will have one more toss from the line. Shot's on its way. It's up, and it's good. White hits both free throws, and now has 4 points in the ball game. Halston Lane inbounds the ball for Oak Ridge. He'll come into Kenneth Herron. He'll go back to Adrian Hall. Herring down court to Adams. Adams back up top to Hall. Hall goes across court to Woofter. Woofter looks inside, but he'll come back up top to Kenneth Herron. Herron goes into Adams. Adams is going to be fouled in by, let's see, Craig Price as he drives to shoot the layup. And for Craig Price, that'll be his second personal foul. So Adams will go to the line for a 1-on-1 situation. 19 fouls for both teams here in this first half, and one more will be in a double bonus where the team will shoot 2 shots on any foul. Adams, 1-on-1 situation, is an 85.7% free throw shooter on the year, misses the first attempt. Controlled by Travis Williams of Oliver Springs. 13, 12, 11, 10 seconds left here in this first half of play. Across the timeline comes Williams. He'll take it himself. 6. He loses the ball. Controlled by Woofter. Woofter goes to Herron. 3, 2, 1. Herron will fire at the buzzer. It's on its way. Short. It's no good. And that's the end of the first half. With our score, Oak Ridge 36, Oliver Springs 24.
Brett, pretty good half of basketball for the Wildcats as they lead it by 12. Came out, they broke the press quite easily, got some very high percentage buckets. I don't think, obviously, the way we saw Oliver Springs shoot the other night down in Oliver Springs, they're not shooting the ball as well, but you got to credit the Oak Ridge defense. The pressure has been great, really. They haven't really had many good looks at the bucket, something that Loudon gave up. We saw, Brett and I saw Oliver Springs play Loudon last week, and they allowed them to get set for their shots. Oak Ridge is just not doing that. And early on, the offense was pretty easy for the Wildcats. High percentage shots, easily breaking their press.
Well, David, one thing Oak Ridge did a good job of, and they broke the press. They made passes down court instead of just dribbling the back court, and they didn't panic. They didn't look intimidated or pressured or anything. They didn't panic at all. They made good, crisp passes down court and found a lot of wide open layups. And like you said, they only gave them 9 points to a very good offensive team in the first quarter. You know, they have 24 here at the first half. They lead by 12. Just a great half by Oak Ridge Wildcats. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. 5, 4, you got it. Back here at the Bearden High School gym, Oak Ridge leads by a score of 36-24. The second half about to get underway. as Oliver Springs strolls to the court with number 44 Craig Price, 33 Chris White, Jonathan Green, Brian Stewart, and Travis Williams. Oak Ridge yet to take the court. Let's see, Coach Carringer and Coach Norris have their team huddled up right there next to the bench. Like I said, Oak Ridge leads by a score of 36-24. Second half ball about to be underway. Oak Ridge strolls out to the court with Greg Woofter, Halston Lane, Greg Adams, Kenneth Herring, and Kevin McMahon. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball on the side of court. We're about to have second half basketball. Brett Kane along with David Clare, Nathan Forbes, our engineer back at the station, Philip Leander and Eric Dottel on the camera work tonight. Oak Ridge will inbound the ball to the Halston Lane, back up top to McMahon. McMahon on the left side to Herring. Herring looks inside to Halston Lane, right in the numbers, but loses the ball. It'll be taken away by Travis Williams. Williams take up the shots, up no good, gets his own rebound, and shoots up again and scores. Williams with 9 points in the ball game now. Oak Ridge, Oliver Springs comes out firing and jumps into this full-court press. McMahon, long pass down court to Woofter. Woofter across court to Herring. Herring in the corner, right side to Halston Lane. Halston goes inside to Woofter. Woofter, little 5-foot jumper. It's on its way. It's up. No good. Rebound taken away by Oliver Springs is number 33, Chris White. Travis Williams across the timeline for Oliver Springs, guarded up top by Kenneth Herring. Oak Ridge in a man-to-man defense. They'll go left side to Stewart. Stewart trapped up top by Greg Woofter and Greg Adams. Goes inside to Chris White. Chris White will drive and knocked out of bounds by Kenneth Herring. Good defensive play there by Kenneth Herring as Chris White had a wide open layup and he just came out of nowhere and knocked the ball out of bounds. It'll be Oliver Springs basketball underneath their own goal. Travis Williams looks in to Brian Stewart. Stewart comes up top to Jonathan Green. Oak Ridge down a 2-3 zone. Jonathan Green goes left side to Stewart. Stewart come back up top to Williams. Williams, he'll look inside but goes back in the corner to Stewart. Stewart right side. See to Jonathan Green. Jonathan Green goes left side. 3-pointer on its way by Brian Stewart's up, and it's no good. Rebound by Oak Ridge momentarily, then knocked out of bounds by number 44, Craig Price of Oliver Springs. So it'll be Oak Ridge's basketball. Oak Ridge on top here by 10. Just underway in the second half of play, 36-26. Oliver Springs in a little half court, 2-3 pressure zone as they'll go long pass down court to Woofter. Woofter comes across court to Kenneth Herring. Herring, he'll drive in, he'll take the shot. It's on its way, it's up, and it's no good. Off the front of the rim, then rebounded by Woofter, and he's going to go up the shot. It's going to be blocked by Craig Price, taken away by Jonathan Green of Oliver Springs. Jonathan Green, he'll drive in, and he'll be fouled by, let's see, number 4, Kevin McMahon. Good hustle there by Kevin McMahon as he tried to get underneath Jonathan Green, but he just got there a little bit late, and a blocking foul is going to be called. It's going to be called on the floor instead of the active shooting. So it'll be Oliver Springs basketball underneath their own goal. Travis Williams, the inbound for Oliver Springs. He'll come right corner to Jonathan Green. Jonathan Green up top to Price. Price, he'll drive in. Free throw extended. The shot's up, and it rolls in good. Oliver Springs has hit 4 points here in this, let's see, third quarter of play. Close the gap, see to 8. Scoreboard is wrong up there. It should be 36-28. Now it's Biggs, and Halston Lane gets the ball back and scores, and then the ball is going to be thrown away by Oliver Springs. It's number 44, Craig Price. Had a wide open cutting Jonathan Green down court, and he threw the ball down court, and Jonathan Green just didn't see the ball, David, and the ball sailed out of bounds. 38-28 our score. Oak Ridge on top by 10. 6:03 left in this third quarter. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball underneath their own goal since nobody touched the ball as the pass was inbounded, so it'll be back down court for Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge, Kenneth Herring comes up top to Adrian Hall. Hall will go left side corner to Kenneth Herring. Herring drive. The shot's up off the glass. It's good. Good drive there by Kenneth Herring as he drove the baseline, took the shot up off the glass, and now has 5 points in the ball game. Right, Oliver Springs right back down court as Chris White goes up the shot against number 40, Woofter. And let's see, for Greg Woofter, that'll be his third personal foul, I believe. Excuse me, first personal foul. And Chris White will go to the line, let's see, for 2 shots. Oak Ridge on top by 12. White eyes the first shot. The shot's on its way. It's up and no good. The first ball game night at this tournament was won, let's see, by Chattanooga Phoenix over Farragut by a score of 49-46. The shot's on its way. It's up and it's good. The winner of this ball game will face them tomorrow night at 6:30. Woofter, he'll come right side to Kenneth Herring. Herring in the backcourt, guarded up by Travis Williams. He'll come up to Adrian Hall. Hall back to Herring. Herring, he'll take the 3. No, he won't. To Greg Adams in the corner. It's on its way. No good. Then rebounded by Greg Adams as he followed his own shot. Now it goes out of Halston Lane. Halston Lane fires to Greg Adams underneath. He goes for the shot, and he's fouled. Good play there by Halston Lane. He looked like he was going to take the shot, went up for the shot actually, and then passed to Greg Adams underneath the goal, and then Greg Adams will be fouled in the act of shooting. Adams will go to the line for 2 shots as number 42, Mark Wedby, will come into the contest for Oliver Springs, and number 33 will check out. That's Chris White. Adams 2 shots from the line. Has, let's see, 7 points in the ball game as the first shot's on its way, and it's good. Adams at 85.7% free throw shooter on the year. Now has 8 points in the ball game. 1 of 2 from the line tonight. Second shot's on its way. It's up, and it's good. Greg Adams hits both shots from the free throw line as Ross Nedbitt enters the contest for Oak Ridge, who will replace Adrian Hall. Oliver Springs, Travis Williams in the backcourt. Goes off to Mark Webby. Webby back to Williams. Williams comes down court to Brian Stewart. Stewart to Craig Price for 3. It's on its way. No good. Rebounded by Kenneth Herron. Herron will go down court. Let's see, to Greg Woofter. And then they got DB out there in midcourt. Picks the pass off, and he's going to be fouled by number 3, Kenneth Herring. And for Kenneth Herring, that'll be his second personal foul. Wide open Greg Woofter down court, and Kenneth Herring tried to hit him. But let's see, Jonathan Green was just down there in midfield playing, let's see, DB, or safety, I guess, and just stole the ball away. So it'll be Oliver Springs basketball. Kenneth Herring substituted. Let's see, by Adrian Hall as the pass goes into Mark Webby. Webby goes over for the shot. It's going to be blocked by Greg Adams, controlled by Craig Price, and then blocked by Greg Woofter. Price back up for the shot, and he's going to be fouled. Fouled by Greg Woofter. For Woofter, that'll be a second personal foul here in the ball game. 2 quick fouls in the second half of play. Oak Ridge on top, 42-28. Just under 5 minutes left here in this third quarter. Craig Price will go to the line. Let's see, for 2 shots. Craig Price in the ball game has, let's see, 4 points. He is, let's see, 0 of 3 from the line tonight. The shot's on its way. It's up, and it's good. Craig Price cuts the lead to 13. He'll have one more toss from the line. The shot's up, and it's no good. Rebounded by number 40, Greg Woofter of Oak Ridge. Adrian Hall down court to Adams. Adams, he'll stop outside the three-point line, come cross court to Nesbitt. Nesbitt will fake the shot and then drive in, and it'll be called for the traveling violation. Good thinking there by Ross Nesbitt because he saw the wide open lane, but just, you know, walked a little bit, took an extra step there, and was called for the traveling violation. Ross Nesbitt guards Jonathan Green up top. Jonathan Green will go inside of Williams. Williams guarded by Adrian Hall. A little bit of a mismatch as Travis Williams stands probably about 6'1" or 6'2". Adrian Hall stands probably about 5'8", 5'9", probably a little bit of size mismatch as Greg Adams will be in the right corner, come up top to Nesbitt. Nesbitt left side to Adrian Hall. Hall for 3. It's on its way. It's good. Adrian Hall, the freshman, hits the three-pointer and gives Oak Ridge, let's see, a 14-point lead. Adrian Hall has a nice shot. He's only a freshman and playing in this ball game. Brian Stewart up top to Jonathan Green. Jonathan Green controls the Oliver Springs offense. Guard up top by Ross Nesbitt. Nesbitt goes left side to Mark Weeby. Weeby looks inside to cutting Craig Price. It's stolen away by Adrian Hall. Adrian Hall, 1-on-2. He'll go to Ross Nesbitt. No, he won't take it himself. It's up, and it's no good. Good little play there by Adrian Hall. Thought he was going to pass behind the back. He kind of did a fake pass behind the back and then went up for the layup. And it's going to be fouled in the act of shooting by number 25, Jonathan Green, and he'll go to the line for 2 shots. Brian Stewart will check out of the contest as number 20, Dwayne Massigal, will replace him.
Brett, Oliver Springs is used to running this style, but look at them. They're the ones who look tired down there. They're all down on their knees, holding their knees down there. Oliver Springs looks a little winded, which is kind of surprising since this is their style of basketball.
The first shot's on its way. It's up and no good. Like we talked about, you know, Oliver Springs is used to playing a fast-paced game, pressing a lot and pushing the ball off the court, but look a little bit winded as Oak Ridge has kept this a pretty fast-paced game themselves tonight. Adrian Hall will go to the line, try to hit this second shot. He eyes his toss, the shot's on its way. It's up, and it's no good. Off the back of the rim, controlled by Oliver Springs. Craig Price wants to talk about it. He'll call a timeout, and it'll be a 20-second timeout. We'll take a timeout ourselves. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Good job. Good job.
I might have a chance to say the way Oak Ridge is playing right now.
If we can keep it above double digits going in the fourth quarter, they scored 40 points in a quarter.
They scored like 13 or 14 like that. Back here at the Bearden High School gym, Brett Kenny along with David Clary. Nathan Forbes, our engineer back at the station. Scott McMahon on statistics works for us tonight. Gave me a little look. I forgot about Scott being here, doing a great job on our statistical work tonight. Travis Williams across the timeline for Oliver Springs, guarded up top by Kenneth Herring. Williams, he'll drive in, he'll take the shot, it's up, and rolls out, but he's going to be fouled. Fouled by Kenneth Herring in the act of shooting. So Travis Williams will go to the line for 2 shots. We're live on AM 1290 WATO. Also live on channel 12 as Travis Williams has 12 points in the ball game. 2 of 2 from the line and out. The shot's on its way. It's up and it's good. Philip Leander and Eric Dottel doing the camera work tonight for channel 12. That's a replay. Will be tomorrow, both the girls and the boys games. Travis Williams will have one more toss in the line. The shot's on its way. It's up and it's good. 4-4 from the line tonight. 14 points in the ball game. That's Ross Nesbitt in the backcourt. He'll go down court to Halston Lane. Halston Lane loses the ball, stolen away by Dwayne Massengill. He'll go to Travis Williams across the timeline, guarded up top by Ross Nesbitt. Travis Williams will take the shot. It's on its way. It's up. No good. Rebounded by Massengill. Oliver Springs. Massengill takes the ball up. It's going to be fouled by, let's see, I believe Halston Lane. That will be the case for Halston Lane. That'll be his second personal foul of the ball game. And let's see, Adrian Hill will check out of the contest as Greg Wolf replaces him. Oak Ridge playing with Adrian Hall, Kevin McMahon, Ross Nesbitt, Greg Woofter, and Halston Lane. The first shot's up and short by Dwayne Massengill. Greg Adams fixing to check in the ball game. He'll check in for Ross Nesbitt. Greg Adams. Let's see here. Dwayne Massengill will have one more shot from the line. The shot's on its way. It's up and no good. Rebound is going to be controlled by Oak Ridge's Halston Lane as the ball was knocked out of bounds then by number 24 Travis Williams. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball. Adrian Hall in the backcourt for Oak Ridge. He'll bring the ball up. Oliver Springs in a little 2-2-1 press. He'll go right side McMahon. McMahon crosses the timeline. He'll go to the corner to Adams. Adams back up top to Adrian Hall. He'll go left corner to Woofter. Woofter back up top to McMahon. McMahon looks inside. Now he'll come across court to Hall. Hall baseline jumper for Woofter. Woofter a little bit short. And then the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds by Oliver Springs. And let's see, Greg Woofter found himself wide open the baseline. Probably could have took a couple of dribbles and got a little closer, but took the shot anyway. Came up a little bit short, but then knocked out of bounds by Oliver Springs. Oliver Springs in a 2-3 zone. McMahon underneath the zone go. He'll come up top to number 54, Greg Adams, guarded up top by Dwayne Massengill. Look inside. Halston Lane is thrown away by Webby. Webby, he'll take it himself all the way down court. The shot's up, and it's good. A good drive there by Mark Webby as Oliver Springs finds it, pulls himself to within 10. And the timeout's going to be asked for. It's going to be a 20-second timeout. We'll take a timeout ourselves. We'll be back in 60 seconds. 30 seconds. Make that a 30, Nathan. It's a 30, Nathan. Forbes, you're the man. Coming back here in a few minutes, a few seconds. Back here at the Bearden High School gym, Oak Ridge on top by 10, 45-35. 2:37 left here in this third quarter of play. McMahon goes inside to Woofter. A personal foul is going to be called against Craig Price of Oliver Springs as he kind of grabbed the arm a little bit of Greg Woofter and pulled him back a little bit. It's going to be called for the personal foul. That'll be only the third team foul here in this second half of play by Oliver Springs. Oak Ridge has 6, but Oak Ridge still leads by 10. As McMahon inbounds to Halston Lane. Halston Lane up the shot. It's up and good. Good job there by Halston Lane to get the shot up and to hit it. Travis Williams across the timeline for Oliver Springs, right back in their face. He'll go left side to Price. Price drives in, falls on the court, and loses the ball momentarily. Then the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds by number 54, Greg Adams of Oak Ridge. It'll be Oliver Springs basketball. Oliver Springs Bobcats coached by a former assistant coach of Oak Ridge, the head coach now of Oliver Springs, Coach Ballard. 47-35 our score. Oliver Springs trails as the pass comes across court to Craig Price. Price up top will come to Travis Williams. Williams guarded up top by Adrian Hall. Oak Ridge in a man-to-man defense as Travis Williams takes a 3. It's up and good. One thing Oak Ridge has got to do is they got to get their hand up on Travis Williams because he can shoot the 3. He pulls Oliver Springs within 9, and the crowd now coming to their feet for Oliver Springs. Adrian Hall, he'll drive all the way. He'll pass to Woofter. Woofter takes the baseline jumper. It's up, and it rolls in good. Good job there by Greg Woofter to silence this crowd. Like I said, playing at Bearden High School, a neutral court, but it seems like the crowd advantage has to go to Oliver Springs. Travis Williams takes a shot up. It's up and no good. And a personal foul, I believe, is going to be called against Adrian Hall, number 14, and that will be the case. And for Adrian, I believe that's his second personal foul, maybe his third. And Travis Williams to go to the line for 2 shots. Oak Ridge on top by 11, 49-38. And David, like I talked about early, we're at Bearden High School, but the crowd advantage has to go to Oliver Springs tonight.
That's a good thing about Oak Ridge getting the early points as the free throws missed. Oak Ridge took their crowd out of it early. Here recently, though, they've been making a little bit more noise. Still Oak Ridge on top by 11. The Wildcats trying to hold on to this lead. Playing pretty good basketball tonight.
Yes, they are, David. The second shot's up and no good. Or controlled by Oak Ridge's Adrian Hall, who come down court to McMahon. McMahon won't take the jumper. Thought he was. Back up top to Adrian Hall. Adrian Hall in the corner of McMahon. McMahon looks inside to Woofter. Woofter will come back up top to McMahon. McMahon guarded up top by Dwayne Massengale. Massengale on McMahon. McMahon will drive middle. He'll drive all the way. He'll take the shot. It's up and it's no good, but a blocking foul is going to be called against Mark Webby. And then let's see a confrontation between the 2 officials. I don't know if they're going to try to change the call or not, but if the call stands, it'll be a blocking foul against Mark Webby of Oliver Springs, but I believe the foul is going to be changed, David. And let's see here. I don't know if that's the case or not. The officials are talking to the scores keepers at the scores table. One of the officials is talking to Coach Carringer. One of the officials is talking to Halston Lane. So I don't know what the deal is. Let's see here. I guess the confrontation's over, and a charging foul is going to be called against Kevin McMahon. At first, the official on the baseline whose call it is called a blocking foul. McMahon was only 2 or 3 feet away from the goal. It was called for a blocking foul. And then an official from the backcourt, the judge, I guess the backcourt official, came in and changed the call, and it's going to be a charge call. McMahon, and for McMahon, that'll be his 4th personal foul. Have to take a seat. Oliver Springs basketball. Williams, he'll come up top to Jonathan Green. Jonathan Green guarded up top by Ross Nesbitt. Jonathan Green, he'll try to take Ross Nesbitt to the cup, and he does. He hits the shot, and so he pulls Oliver Springs within 9, and Oliver Springs starting to get into this ball game as the fans across our way getting into it. Halston Lane will go inside to Woofter. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. Let's see, by Oak Ridge, and tries almost saved by Adrian Hall, but stayed right into the player. Oliver Springs players. Brian Stewart takes a 3. It's on its way. No good. Rebounded in by by Halston Lane of Oak Ridge, and then Oliver Springs' Craig Price is going to come in. It's going to be called for the personal foul. Just kind of took the ball away, but a personal foul is going to be called against Craig Price. For Craig Price, that'll be his 3rd personal foul. It'll be Oak Ridge's basketball. 45 seconds left here in this 3rd quarter. Oak Ridge on top by 9. That's Adrian Hall crosses the timeline for Oak Ridge. He'll call the play. He'll come left side to Ross Nesbitt. Nesbitt looks inside to Adrian Hall. Adrian Hall will come back up top for Oak Ridge. 30 seconds left here in this 3rd quarter. Adrian Hall guarded up top by Jonathan Green. He'll come left side to Greg Woofter. Woofter, he'll take a couple dribbles. Then he'll go right side to Ross Nesbitt. Nesbitt guarded up top by Brian Stewart. 16 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Nesbitt dribbles around up top, and he's going to lose the ball momentarily, regains control. He's going to go left side to Halston Lane. Halston Lane, 6-5-4. He takes it himself. The shot's on its way. It's up and no good. A double dribble is going to be called as the fans for Oliver Springs come to their feet with 4.3 seconds left here in this 3rd quarter. And if Oliver Springs hits this, it's going to be a big bucket for Oliver Springs. Mark Webby in to Brian Stewart. Stewart, he'll dribble, he'll turn, he'll spin. 1 second, the shot's on its way, it's up, and it's no good. Almost rolled in. It kind of scared me for a second, but it didn't go in, and so Oak Ridge leads by a score of 49-40 at the end of this 3rd quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds. I'm saying Ross Nesbitt.
Got to be a little bit more patient. Back here at the Bearden High School Gymnasium of the Super 16 basketball tournament, Oak Ridge in the lead over Oliver Springs, 49-40. As the fourth and final quarter about said, the Wildcats come out with Adrian Hall, Greg Adams, along with Greg Wolfter, Halston Lane, and Kenny Herring. With the basketball will come Oak Ridge as we start the fourth quarter. Wolfter with a layup, shot good. Wolfter gets a bucket. It's a good way to start the fourth quarter, and the Wildcats take the lead by double digits. 11-point lead, 51-40 the score. Here's Travis Williams taking a shot, rolls off the rim, tipped in good by one of the Wildcats. Interesting play as Oak Ridge brings the ball down the floor. It's kind of interesting that Oliver Springs electing not to go with the press as much as they did in the first half.
Well, David, Oak Ridge was so successful breaking the press, I guess they want to kind of back off and not give me open shots or easy baskets. That shot's on its way. It's up. No good control by Oliver Springs. Like we said, they want to make sure they don't give me easy baskets to Oak Ridge here in this fourth quarter.
Down the floor after the missed three-point shot. Here comes Travis Williams. His shot is up, no good on the rebound. Tipped and taken by Halston Lane. Deflected over to Jonathan Green. Green with the basketball near the midcourt circle. Takes Adrian Hall to the free throw line. Shoots from there. It's up, no good. On the rebound, once again, Oliver Springs. Craig Price back up. Hammered and thrown down to the floor by Halston Lane. And a personal foul will be called against Oak Ridge. The Wildcats can ill afford really to go back and forth trading baskets. The Wildcats would need to do what they did primarily in the first half and be a little bit more patient with their shot selection. The Wildcats will see Price go to the free throw line once again. 6:56 to play in the basketball game. Oak Ridge holding on to the lead, 51-42. The Wildcats have led all the way in this ball game, but you feel that Oliver Springs can get right back in the ball game with the way they can shoot the basketball. Price to the line, shot good. Cuts the gap to 8. 51-43 the score.
You know, David, Oak Ridge did a good job of controlling this game, controlling this crowd at the beginning, but the crowd's starting to get into it again, and Oak Ridge looks like a little frustration on their faces as they just can't hit some of those wide open shots they were hitting the first half.
With the basketball will come Oak Ridge. Adrian Hall at the point, working hard defensively against him is Jonathan Green. He works the ball to Kenny Herring. 6:44 to play. 8-point Wildcat lead. Oak Ridge with it. Adrian Hall outside the three-point line. Takes his man to the top of the key. Now penetrates in. Kicks it over to Wolfter. Wolfter along the baseline. Turns, spins, shoots. No good. Oak Ridge's Adams on the rebound. Up, no good. Once again, his own rebound up. Good! And he's fouled. Greg Adams kept battling it out on the boards, was able to get 3 shots off. The third one drops through, and he'll go to the free throw line. He has 11 points in the ball game to try to convert the three-point play.
Great job there by Greg Adams. Kept with the ball and missed the first couple of shots there, but just kept getting the rebound and going up strong and got fouled only the third time, hit the shot. Just a great job by Greg Adams.
11 points, a new career high for Greg Adams. His shot is up good. Adams hits the free throw, and Oak Ridge extends their lead back to 11. Here comes Oliver Springs down the floor, almost losing it on the sideline. Matt McMahon and the Oak Ridge former Wildcat players sitting down there right in front of the action, trying to harass the Oliver Springs player as they work the ball out for a three-point shot. It's on its way. Good. Three-point shot made by Oliver Springs is number 32, Brian Stewart, and the Wildcat lead is back to 8. 54-46, 6:06 to play in the basketball game. Adrian Hill in the basketball game to Adams. Greg Adams holding it, giving it off to Hill. Hill around to the top to Kenny Herring. The Wildcats playing with Kenny Herring. He works the dribble to the left side, looks inside of Wolfter, can't get the ball inside to him, now does along the baseline, kicks it back out once again. There's Adams, a three-pointer. It's open, it's wide open. The shot is no good. On the rebound, Oak Ridge up, good, and he's fouled. The Wildcats, Adrian Hill, big offensive rebound and putback bucket. And he'll go to the free throw line to try to convert a three-point play.
You know, one thing Oak Ridge is doing a great job is the offensive boards. I think this is the key in this fourth quarter so far. Greg Adams had probably 3 offensive rebounds there in that last possession, and then Adrian Hill with a big offensive rebound and a putback with the foul, and just a great job on the offensive boards.
10-point lead for the Wildcats, 56-46, 5:44 to play in the basketball game. Adrian Hill to the free throw line for the Wildcats. He shoots off the rim, no good, tipped out of bounds by Greg Wolfter. It'll be Oliver Springs basketball. The Wildcats have led the entire way. Oliver Springs requested this basketball game. Coach Ballard requested this from Coach Blevins. And the Wildcats right now leading by 10, 56-46. Here comes Travis Williams down the floor at the free throw line. Bounce pass goes inside of Price, goes up with a shot, partially rejected, and knocked out of bounds momentarily. I thought Price gets his own rebound, up with a shot, no good, but he draws the foul. They'll have to earn it at the free throw line. Price will go to the charity stripe. Oak Ridge by 10, 56-46. excellent defensive job. Oliver Springs is averaging over 80 points per ball game, and they've been held to 46 to this point.
Like I said, you got to give credit to Oak Ridge's defense so far in this ball game. It's the first shots up and good by Craig Price, but they've done a great job so far, controlling the tempo of the ball game for one thing. As the second shot's on its way, it's up and good, but just a good job defensively for Oak Ridge.
The Wildcats with the basketball down the floor will come Adrian Hall. Walks the ball across the time stripe in an 8-point game. Oak Ridge on top 56-48. Hall in trouble, works it over to Halston Lane near the midcourt circle. Being pressured everywhere he goes. He finds Woofter free. Woofter kicks it back out to Hall. Hall to Lane. He lost the handle of the ball. Picked up on the floor by Oliver Springs. Here comes Price. Down the floor they go, inside layup. Good. Wildcats got pressured up high with Halston Lane, and the Wildcats turn the ball over, and it's a 6-point game. And Oliver Springs, you can kind of feel the momentum beginning to shift to the Bobcats. The Wildcats need a good offensive series this time as Adrian Hall penetrates, kicks it back out to Herring. Herring with it to Lane. Halston at the free throw line. Good. It's a big shot by Halston Lane.
You said a big shot right there. Kind of silences the crowd a little bit. Gives Oak Ridge back an 8-point. Gives back the Oak Ridge the 8-point lead as Travis Williams drives in, and it's going to be fouled on the floor by Kenneth Herring. Like I said, that's a big shot there by Halston Lane. Oliver Springs pull within 6, but gets that lead back up to 8 with 4:39 left in this fourth quarter.
58-50 the score. Oak Ridge on top by 8. To the free throw line will go Travis Williams, 6'2", junior. Williams has 19 points in the ball game. He is 4 of 6 from the free throw line. 5 of 7 as he knocks down the shot. It's a 7-point Oak Ridge lead. 58-51 the score. 4:39 to play in the basketball game. The Super 16 basketball tournament here from Bearden High School. Second toss up. He missed it. On the rebound, Halston Lane had it. He's fouled. Personal foul number 7 against Oliver Springs. It'll go against number 33, Chris White. For White, that'll be his 3rd personal foul. 4th personal foul. It'll be the one in the bonus in effect as they've got it up there 5 against Chris White. So he is fouled out of the ball game. Chris White is fouled out. Coach Ballard has a full minute to replace him. As Oak Ridge prepares for free throws, it'll be Halston Lane strolling to the free throw line. 7-point Oak Ridge lead, 58-51 the score. Halston Lane at the free throw line. His shot is up, no good. On the rebound will come Oliver Springs. 4:34 and counting in the basketball game, 7-point Wildcat lead. Travis Williams kicks it out to Massengale, blocked by Greg Adams, and Massengale takes his seat unasked for on the floor here at Bearden as Adams swatted the shot out, and the Oak Ridge fans react to that. It'll be Oliver Springs basketball. With the basketball come Whitby. Once again it goes to Jonathan Green. Green dribbles to the left. Now takes his man in to the free throw line, throws the ball off the fingertips, saved by Massengale. Massengale looking to drive, comes back out and throws the ball all the way down the floor. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. The Wildcats saw Massengale get just too deep, and then he launched one over the midcourt line. Oak Ridge basketball in front court. 4:12 to play in the game. Oak Ridge by 7, 58-51. Here it comes. Woofter, one dribble. Here goes the shot. It's on its way. Good. No match inside as Woofter powers it up, and the Wildcats lead 60-51, and he has 11 points.
Good shot there by Greg Woofton. A big shot there as Travis Williams drives in. The shot's on its way. It's up. No good. Rebounded by Halston Lane.
Wildcats with the basketball. Halston in rear court. Gets it off to Hall. Wildcats have the numbers. Adrian pulls up inside Woofter. Stripped to the ball. Foul's going to be called against Oliver Springs. 3 minutes, 50 seconds to play in the basketball game. And Oliver Springs about 30 points under their season average in scoring. It'll be Woofter at the free throw line. These two teams have not played in 41 years as Oak Ridge goes to the free throw line with Greg Woofter. Woofter, a junior, guns, no good. Foul in the act of shooting, he'll have another. Woofter and the Wildcats on top by 9, 60-51, 3:50 to play in the ball game. Greg Woofter back to the charity stripe, 11 points, 1 of 3 from the free throw line. Second toss up, missed them both. On the rebound, Oliver Springs. Wildcats have missed their last 3 free throws. They still lead by 9. Here's Travis Williams down the floor. Kicks it back on the right side. They're not really allowing Travis Williams to get free to take a 3 as this guy turns, spins, drives, shoots, line drive shot, rolls off the rim, no good. Woofter on the rebound, he's fouled. Ball just hung around the rim. Jonathan Green's shot just would not go down. That'll be 10 team fouls against Oliver Springs, and Oak Ridge will be shooting 2.
You know, one thing Oak Ridge is going to have to do, they're going to have to hit their free throws, David. Like you said, they missed their last 3, and it's going to be important. They're up by 9 points, and Oliver Springs is going to make them earn it. You know, sometimes they're probably going to foul them in the end of this ball game here. They're going to have to make their free throws. If the first shot's on its way, it's up, and it's no good.
4 in a row missed by Oak Ridge as Halston Lane jumped into the lane, put the bucket back up, but he didn't realize it was a 2-shot foul. Kind of gets harassed a little bit from the crowd. Woofter back to line, shot good. Greg hits the shot. It's a 10-point Oak Ridge lead. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the basketball game. Oak Ridge and Oliver Springs here from the Super 16 tournament. Travis Williams goes deep, kicks it back out once again to Green. Green attacks against Kevin McMahon, kicks it over to Williams. Travis cut off, but shoots anyway. Shot good. He's an excellent player. Knocks down the shot, and it's an 8-point game. Here comes Adrian Hall and the Wildcats. Adrian all the way down, pulls up, 5-footer, no good. On the rebound this time will go Craig Price. 3 minutes to play in the basketball game. 8-point Oak Ridge lead. 61-53. Here comes Travis Williams, turning, spinning, shooting. He missed it. On the rebound, a foul is going to be called against Halston Lane. Coming over the back. That's exactly what I would do if I were Coach Ballard. I would just say, get the ball in the hands of Travis Williams and see what he can do.
Well, so far what they've done, they've cleared out basically and let number 25, Jonathan Green and Travis Williams, just take their man to the goal and try to make the shot. If they miss it, they're trying to get the rebound. And probably a pretty good strategy by Coach Ballard. Like you said, Jonathan Green and Travis Williams, some of their 2 best players, along with Craig Price. But Craig Price goes to the line here for 2 shots. But one thing Oak Ridge is going to have to do is play good defense and make their free throws.
Wildcats have struggled to this point hitting their free throws as Price hits that toss. Massengale, another good 3-point shooter, checks into the ball game. Checking out will go Chris White. So obviously he did not foul out. Second toss is good. And we're back to a 6-point game once again. Oak Ridge facing pressure again. Kenny Herring with it, a lazy pass, taken away by Oliver Springs. Here comes the shot, 5-footer, rims in good, 4-point game. Wildcats have to be more careful, and Oak Ridge will call a timeout. And the Oliver Springs crowd going berserk here at Bearden High School, 61-57. The Wildcats have had double-digit lead most of the game, but the Wildcats' inability to hit some free throws down the stretch and the inability to get the ball in on that particular trip, giving Oliver Springs another 2 points. And this is going to go right down to the end. I knew that Oliver Springs would make a run, and they're coming strong, and their crowd is in it. Something they haven't been in it since the introduction of the starting lineups. But right now, Oliver Springs trying to get back into position to win this ball game over Oak Ridge.
You know, David, one thing that Oak Ridge has done well is responded. They've a couple times, Oliver Springs has pulled to within 6 and 7. They've hit the shots, and Oliver Springs is within 4 right now. Hopefully they can respond well here, but the crowd's really getting into it for Oliver Springs.
Kenny Herring with it across to Halston Lane. Halston drives in, pulls up, shoots. Not a good shot. He missed it. On the rebound, Oak Ridge. Woofter. Wildcats should have been probably a little bit more patient as Woofter kicks it back out to Adams. The Wildcats are no hurry. They've got the lead. They can just work the time off the clock. Wildcats look pressed and look like they're trying to force the action here as Oliver Springs forcing him on defense, setting trap up high on Herring. He works out of it to the left, finds Halston free, looks inside, needs to get rid of it, and has his shot blocked. Taken away by Adams. It's a jump ball, no. Halston comes out with it. Wildcats, all they need to do is just slow things down just a little bit as they work the ball with 2 minutes to play. In the lead, here's Lane once again going inside. Here's the shot, no good. Wildcats didn't need to do that, Brett. They just kind of forced the action. Here comes Williams, layup. He's going to lose control of it, go in for the shot, good, and he's fouled. The Wildcats did not need to do what they did on that trip down the floor. All they had to do is continue to dribble the basketball. They forced what I consider to be not a great shot, and the Wildcats turned the ball back over, and it's a 2-point game.
Like you said, David, Oliver Springs within 2 here, and it's going to be a good ball game down the stretch. 1:51 left here in this ball game, and Oak Ridge up by 2. Travis Williams to line for 1 shot to try to pull Oliver Springs within 1. Like you said, Oak Ridge is going to have to play good defense, going to play smart ball. Like I said, they're going to get good shot opportunities, and so far they've just kind of rushed their shots and not had a good shot opportunity.
Minute 51 to play. Travis Williams hits the shot, and it's a 1-point game. The Wildcats have led by double digits the entire way. Kevin McMahon in the rear court uses his elbow to clear out. Here it goes to Hall, the Woofter. Woofter turning, spinning, driving, shooting, no good. Adams on the rebound, he's tied up. Arrow points towards Oliver Springs. They get the basketball. The Wildcats looking at a 61-60 lead with 1:39 to play. Oliver Springs has the basketball with a chance if they stall for the last minute 39 to win the ball game. All the Wildcats really had to do was work some time off the clock, and we'll see how it all unfolds here. A minute 35 to play. The Wildcats playing with Adrian Hall, along with Greg Adams, Kevin McMahon, Halston Lane, and Greg Woofter. They have the basketball, 61-60 the score. Whitby with the basketball out to Price. Price harassed out there by Woofter. Over goes in the left corner to number 32. That'll be Brian Stewart. Stewart back on the left side to Jonathan Green. A minute 12 to play. Oak Ridge on top, 61-60 over the Oliver Springs Bobcats. Over it goes on the right side of Williams. Williams pulls up, shoots, no good. Greg Adams on the rebound. Oak Ridge basketball. Personal foul is going to be called against Oliver Springs. That time it looked like Travis perhaps forced the shot just a little bit. But the way he shoots the basketball, you don't feel so bad about the chances when he shoots it, as the Wildcats will go to the free throw line. Personal foul goes against Brian Stewart. It'll be Greg Adams at the free throw line. Greg, on the night, has 12 points, and the Wildcat, let's see, is 3 of 4 from the free throw line. The Wildcats will have 2 shots here, and the way they've been shooting free throws, Greg's going to need to knock down both of them. A minute 1 to play in the basketball game.
Like you said, Oak Ridge is going to have to hit down that free throws. I believe a timeout's going to be asked for by Oliver Springs. But no, Greg Adams going to have to hit these free throws. They're only up by 1 right here, and these free throws are big. Greg Adams, an 85.7% free throw shooter on the year. I think he's 2 of 3 from the line tonight so far, but these are 2 big free throws for Oak Ridge.
Earlier tonight, the Oak Ridge High School Lady Wildcats won. They won 70-46 over Tennessee High of Bristol, and they'll play the winner of the Greenville Villa Angela, Ohio ball game, which is going on right now up in Greenville. That game will be at 7:30 tomorrow up in Greenville. The winner of this ball game will play Phoenix 3 out of Chattanooga. And I'm looking for the bracket here for the start time. I had it momentarily, but it's moved over there. They'll play because Phoenix 3 defeated Farragut. And the game will be at 6:30. Thanks a lot, Brett. That'll be on Monday. The boys will not be in action regardless if they win or lose tonight. Their next ball game will be on Monday. So they'll have tomorrow and Sunday to prepare for whomever it might be. As the Wildcats go to the free throw line, leading 61-60. It's been double digits most of the ball game, but Oliver Springs has never given up. They've played hard, and Oak Ridge will go to the free throw line with Greg Adams. Adams to the free throw line as my voice continues to struggle. He has 12 points, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. He'll have 2 shots here as we're in the double bonus. Adams shoots, missed it. Wildcats struggling down the stretch here at the free throw line. Greg Adams, a very good free throw shooter, will have another one. The Oliver Springs crowd, loud and vocal, back to the free throw line. Shoots, good. Adams makes it a 2-point game, 62-60. We're under a minute to play in the basketball game. Oliver Springs down the floor once again to Travis Williams. A 3 will win it if they hit it with little time left as Williams works the ball to the left side to Jonathan Green. 48 seconds to play. Coach Ballard calling the play. Everybody goes down low. Over it goes to Williams. Williams drives in, cut off there by McMahon. Wanted to shoot, kicks it back out for 3. No good. On the rebound, Greg Adams. Adams on the Wildcats. Down the floor it goes to McMahon. The Wildcats with 33 seconds to play. Oak Ridge with the basketball leading 62-60. And now here's a foul up high caught against Oak Ridge. 2-shot foul. The Wildcats, after they missed the shot, will have another opportunity here, leading by 2, 62-60. The personal foul goes against Travis Williams. That'll be his first personal foul. It'll be Kevin McMahon at the free throw line. Kevin in the ball game has 5 points, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He'll have 2 shots here. Senior eyes the first toss. 62-60 Oak Ridge. Toss, good. 3-point Wildcat lead. 63-60. Kevin McMahon back to the free throw line. Strolls to the charity stripe. Takes 1 dribble, spins it in his hand, takes another dribble, eyes the cylinder and shoots. Knocks it down, good. McMahon hits the free throw. It's a 4-point Oak Ridge lead. 64-60, 25 seconds to play. Travis Williams with the basketball. He drives in against Hall, pulls up and shoots, good. Travis Williams scores, and the Wildcats have the basketball with 18 seconds to play. McMahon in the rear court stops, gets it across to Halston Lane. Halston Lane has been fouled. Halston fouled by number 20, Dwayne Massengale, with 12.5 seconds to play, and Oak Ridge leading 64-62.
Good shot there down there by Travis Williams for Oliver Springs to pull Oliver Springs within 2. But right here, Oak Ridge's Halston Lane has a chance to hit these 2 free throws and give Oak Ridge a 4-point lead, and that makes it a 2-possession ball game. This is a big 2 free throws for Halston Lane. As the first shot's up and good. 65-62 our score. Just 12 seconds left here in this 4th quarter.
Timeout is asked for, I do believe, by the Oliver Springs Bobcats. What an exciting ball game. Coach Ballard asked for this. At this contest, he asked Coach Blevins, tournament director here, he wanted to play Oak Ridge in the first round of the tournament, so he got what he wanted, but if they don't come back and win, he probably wished he hadn't have gone. But it's a great for their program, and if this is a great Oliver Springs basketball team. This is one of the best Oliver Springs basketball teams I've seen since that team that went to the state tournament.
Well, I agree with you, Dave. It's just a great all-around team, a great offensive team, a great defensive team. And Travis Williams, a great ball player. He's only a junior. He plays really well and just shoots the ball really well. And it's kept Oliver Springs in this ball game along with Jonathan Green. And Craig Price has played a big role tonight for Oliver Springs. Like you said, this is a great basketball team in Oliver Springs.
65-62, Halston Lane will have one more free throw. I apologize for the condition of my voice. Brett's dying to take the mic away from me. But as Halston goes back to the free throw line, one more shot. Halston in the ball game with 13, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. 65-62, Oak Ridge by 3, 12.5 seconds to play in this basketball game. Jam-packed Bearden High School. Halston gives Oak Ridge a 4-point lead. Here comes Oliver Springs with 10. Travis Williams works the ball out to the left side to Massengale. Massengale back to Williams, 6, 5 at the buzzer. Shot no good. Oak Ridge with 3 seconds. Halston pulls down the rebound. It's all over. Oliver Springs asked for it, and they're going to lose this ball game tonight. Oliver Springs defeated by the Oak Ridge Wildcats by a final score of 66-62. Big win for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. There were many people who thought this Oliver Springs team would just blow out the Wildcats because they averaged so many points. The Wildcats played excellent defense. They sliced through that heralded press as if it was a hot knife through butter early on, getting easy buckets, and the Wildcats win the ball game 66-62.
Well, Dave, like you said, it's a great game by the Oak Ridge Wildcats. They held Oliver Springs to only 62 points in the ball game, and they're averaging almost, I think, above 80 points just about every ball game. And like you said, the first half was a big key for Oak Ridge's success tonight, the victory. And they're up 21-9 at the end of the first quarter. And just a great job, the Oak Ridge Wildcats. They kind of struggled there at the end a little bit, but just a great ball game all around. And Oliver Springs, you got to give them a lot of credit. They're a great ball team, and I expect a lot of great things. Probably even a trip maybe to the state championship in AA this year.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. I think for sure this Oliver Springs team is a state tournament team. They have all the weapons they need. They've got a good inside game. They've got a good outside game. And I'm very impressed with the job that Coach Stan Ballard has done with this Oliver Springs basketball team. Final score, Oak Ridge wins is 66-62. So overall, Britt Kennedy, a good night for the basketball programs. The girls win 70-46 over Tennessee High of Bristol, and the guys win tonight by a final score of 66-62. We're going to take a break, send it back to Nathan Forbes, back at the studios of AM 1290 WATO. It's a 4-point win for the Wildcats. We'll be back in 4 minutes.
13 for a total of 66. For the Oliver Springs Bobcats, Jonathan Green, 6. Brian Stewart, 6. Chris White, 6. Mark Whitby, 7. Craig Price,